Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Massenomics podcast. This is the lifting podcast about nothing. And like usual, it's recorded in western, northeast South Dakota. And I was just double-checking our number. This is episode 307 of the Massenomics podcast.
Lucky 307.
Yeah, lucky 307. You know what they say about 307?
It's after 306.
It's 5 episodes until our 6-year anniversary.
Is it really?
I'm not sure.
Well, if there's a leap year in there, which might... No. There's a leap year. It adds a week to the calendar.
That should still be the 52 weeks. So 6 times 5. Yeah, I think...
that'd be one.
Is that right?
Yep.
52
312.
312, yeah. Is Jeff on the Discord? He's a financial planner. He probably can do quick math.
He definitely has an adding machine next to him right now.
We've got exciting guest plan for today. Several topics to cover. New drop to talk about. Red Robin stuff to revisit, all that sort of thing. But before we do that, we probably got something even more important than
we have a special announcement. Yeah. Today's episode is brought to you by Swiss Link.
What?
Just
what?
Just
it's brought to you by who?
Strap in over there, Tanner.
What?
I'm taking you on a little ride right now. Close your eyes and imagine yourself in mid-century Italy.
Okay.
You're a high-ranking military officer. I mean, Tanner, you basically did all these things, so this is just.
I don't have to imagine.
Go deep into your memory here.
I can feel the PTSD now.
You're a high-ranking military officer dining in the Italian Officers Club. Dishes from around the world are served on fine silverware, elegant glassware, and gorgeous porcelain. The height of class meant only for the most elite members of the Italian military. Now bring yourself to the frigid Swiss Alps. You're a light infantry soldier on the Alpine troops training high-altitude drills in whiteout conditions. You're kept warm by a life-saving combination of wool thermals, Gore-Tex outerwear, and a trusty pair of trigger mittens. I can't wait for you to find out where I'm going with this, Tanner. Next stop, you guessed it, the Great Plains of western, northeast South Dakota. You're trying to find the Massenomics gym, and you've run completely out of gas, but you've come prepared. Your indestructible NATO fuel can from SwissLink.com has the 5.3 gallons you need to complete the journey. SwissLink offers a diverse and unique selection of authentic military issue gear and outdoor equipment. Save 15% off your first order.
You're not going to say it.
That's 15% off your first order from SwissLink.com. Use code, say it together, everyone, MASS, code MASS at checkout. That's SwissLink.com, SWISSLINK.com. Thank you, SwissLink, for supporting this episode.
SwissLink.com. Check out the website, military surplus. I was just browsing it again today. I've looked at it several times here. I was looking,
Were you like, hey, they got into my closet?
Yes, and there's some cool blankets. I do really like the
NATO fuel can.
Yeah, yes, that's what I was going to say.
That is a real classic piece.
All kinds of 3-in-1 folding shovels. There's some authentic military surplus and stuff there, and then some new
and
items
some stuff
too.
that's really affordable.
Yeah,
some things are. I would almost go and say cheap, even very inexpensive.
Yep.
And then there's some crazy stuff in there too. So,
and it's only even more affordable when you use, of course, discount code MASS.
Now accepted everywhere things are accepted.
I was really enjoying seeing all the reactions from our Discord crew as you were reading that. Someone's
I kind of assumed
I think Tommy's broken.
I kind of assumed that was going on when I felt like there was laughing coming over here. But Tanner, wait, that's not all. Today's show is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. And this is kind of like I'm visiting an old friend because I haven't got to read this ad in a long time.
All right.
Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. Oh, yeah, it's like riding a bike. It's coming right back. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he had ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, and world powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit texaspowerbars.com. Oh, it brings a smile to my face getting to read that thing again.
It does. It's really good. A couple of things I wanted to mention from this last week. I was on the Trigger Warning Conjugate Stay Hated podcast. So if you haven't checked that out, go give it a listen. You said you listened to it here recently.
I did.
I think it turned out really good.
I
don't know.
actually really enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah.
I just enjoy listening to people talk about Massenomics, so that really helps.
And whether this may seem odd saying it this way, but I feel like on that podcast, I talked a lot more about Massenomics than what you hear on the Massenomics podcast on an average week.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
you hear
definitely. Well, yeah,
right.
because you got to fill people in a little
Right,
bit more.
right.
Because you got to assume a lot of his audience doesn't know who we are.
Right, and that's the angle
Give a
that
little
I'm
more-
thinking of.
I always think it's funny how just kind of genuinely surprised he kind of seems that like, oh, you guys are just upbeat and positive and like, wow, you're not like world class and you're still wasting your time with this. Like,
yeah. So yeah, give that a listen.
Yeah.
Find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. Stay Hated Trigger Warning Conjugate podcast.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good listen.
Yeah, a few people in the Discord said the same thing this week, that they enjoyed it. So I think it's worth checking out if you're a fan of this podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't want to miss out on it.
Actually, if you're a fan of this podcast and you haven't been a fan a super long time, that actually might be a pretty good educational
You'd be like,
episode.
oh, okay. I actually learned
Because it's
so that's
almost
what these
weird
guys
for
are up
us to do
Yeah.
an episode like that.
Right.
It would be kind of odd. So it does a decent job of bringing you up to speed on the last few years of Massenomics.
Yeah, the other thing from this week, actually today is when we did it, Wednesday the 16th, we just did the Reddit home gym subreddit AMA with Massenomics. We just completed that today, and I think that was a success too.
That was Tanner. You replied to all the comments, so I just got to go in and read them, and that was fun to go in there and see everything.
There was a lot of comments to reply to. You know, a lot of funny stuff. Of course, there was some serious questions too.
For the most part, it felt like people leaving comments in there were aware of us, but there was a few people that were saying things along the lines of, oh, you guys seem pretty silly. You got me interested. I might have to check this out.
What I really thought was cool, there was a lot of people that said, hey, I'm just really new to your podcast. Like, it sounds kind of cool. What episode should I go check out?
Where do I start?
That's a hard question to answer,
is.
honestly. When someone says, where you start, I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I guess you pretty much answered it, right? That's basically what I would say too. But I guess I would just say, pick something from the last like year and a half and maybe start with like a guest that you have an interest in.
Right.
And you can kind of cherry pick those around. And then at that point, you'll have a decent taste for the flavor. And then you can, if you want to, start just hammering through them.
Right. Yeah. It's weird. There's several ways to attack it. And that probably comes down to as much as anything of how you like to listen to podcasts.
Yes, true. Yeah.
Some people probably insist on starting on one, and and if you want to do that, I might even say start at like 150.
Yeah.
You know, like start there, and like if you want to attack it that way.
It's like the
and
BC,
then when you get all done with that,
it's like the BC AD timeline.
Right,
there's a shift where something happens there.
Yeah. But anyways, the AMA, I think that was a cool thing. I'm glad we got that opportunity.
Yeah.
Hopefully a few people found out about us that didn't know prior to that, right?
Mm-hmm. We didn't have anything that went crazy viral and ended up on the front page of Reddit, unfortunately.
Yet.
You have a good point there.
Yeah.
Yet. There's still time.
I brought a little can this week. If would you like to partake?
I would love to partake. I don't want you to have all the fun by yourself.
This is a what's in the can segment.
Okay. I don't have a special blindfold, but I will.
You've got the built-in blindfold.
I got the
your eyelids.
built-in blinders.
And I just have to refresh my. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
Oh,
So I am now passing Tommy his can and grabbing mine. I don't believe I've had this myself.
are we ready to crack in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be curious if I feel like
It's
I
that
would know
first
what this
aroma that hits you.
is. Ooh, that's a crispy crack.
Well, it smells fruity right away.
It's sometimes it's fun to be on this side of the table if you know.
Like part of me wanted to go towards grape kind of right away. Or is it a berry of some kind? Boy, I'm actually really struggling with this one.
I don't think it's easy.
It's good. I'll say that. It's definitely good.
It is. It is tasty.
Let's say strawberry lime. Can I look?
Yep.
Cherry. Tropical cherry. God. It's like a trick question.
Yeah. Cherry again. But it does have a picture of a lime on it. And you said
it does.
Strawberry lime.
So
Tropical cherry from Good and Gather.
yep. It'd be the Target brand, I
Yep.
believe, right?
Pretty tasty, isn't it?
Yeah. So based off of the pictures in the can, it's lemon, lime, and cherry. Based off of the pictures.
Is that what makes it
makes
tropical?
it tropical, apparently.
Yeah.
So, if you cross a grape and a strawberry, that almost is a cherry. And I did say lime, so I'm basically got this
So
one
yes,
right.
he nailed it. I'm going to give this a 4.
Yeah,
I think
that's
this
really
is real good.
It's almost like if you put lime in the flavor, it kind of automatically gets at least a half a point bump.
It's the half
Like it's
point
hard
bump.
to not get 4 when there's lime in it.
Right. I think that there's some sound logic behind that.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Tommy, did you watch the Super Bowl this week?
I did. So
It was what it was.
it was, yeah. It felt like it had some. As far as the game goes, it felt a little less exciting than the conference championship.
That's
I think a
typical.
huge part of that is just there's not. I get they were the home team, but also how much of a home. You don't have a home cheering
No.
section for the Super Bowl ever,
Right.
and that is so. The environment is so much of it for
Yeah.
where it feels like the stakes are really high when the crowd is just going nuts the whole time. So that takes it out of it a little bit, but the game was fine.
Yeah, it was fun.
It wasn't a
good.
bad game.
No.
It just wasn't like a crazy game either.
You know, the thing that I'm more interested in is what do you think of the halftime show?
It wasn't bad. The thing that I also struggle with, like hip hop, it's very much the attitude and everything. And you always you can't bring that attitude on TV quite as much. Just in explicitness and
Yeah.
your actions and all that. Like I've been to some pretty awesome like hip hop rap shows and they're a lot of fun. And an in-person show is nothing like the one you see on TV. Like nowhere near it. It's like the Kids Bop version almost.
Yeah.
Is what you get. So
Especially in a giant, brightly lit state,
yes, and then,
like
that was the other thing too. You realize, oh, it is still daytime in
Yeah,
California
yeah.
right now. So that takes it down a little bit of a notch, but it was fine. Nothing.
Yeah.
I did think it seemed really short though, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I thought I maybe read something that it was maybe a little shorter than normal.
I was super excited for it because it's like my favorite rap hip hop stuff. You know, it's like literally my favorite era of that.
Yeah.
You know, and I love Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem. Mm-hmm. I was excited about 50 Cent being
he
on
popped
there.
in out of nowhere.
Like, and I love Mary J. Blige. I could certainly do without, I guess, like her second song she sang. I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard that
I
before.
didn't know that song either. And actually, her first one, I didn't know that was her song either. Like she was
You're
singing
right.
it, and I said, "Yep, didn't know she sang this one."
But anyways, my point being, I really like all those guys, and I felt like I felt a little underwhelmed by the actual
You were just
thing.
at best, you were just whelmed.
Yeah, I just was like,
Yeah.
this is not like, doesn't feel like the right experience from these guys or something. And I like at one point in time, like Dre's over there, like he's done rapping and he's over there like looks like on like a soundboard of sorts. And
Oh,
I'm like,
like-
that is
Yeah,
not
it's-
doing anything. Like you are not
He
doing
did play
something.
the piano at that one
Yeah,
part.
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it just the Super Bowl halftime show. Unless you're like a family act, like
Yeah.
Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake,
Right.
you have to just vanilla down your performance so much to not offend people. And I mean, it is.
Overall, I think it was pretty decent. It's
Yeah, it was
just
fine.
not like the ideal experience from those guys,
Yeah.
I think. I was just kind of hoping that Tupac was going to make an appearance.
Maybe that hologram was going to come back, but yeah.
No,
never did.
wouldn't that have been the extreme long play if like he always has been alive
This was
and
when
he was waiting for the
he was
Super Bowl
waiting
halftime
for the
show?
2022 halftime show. Like this was his shot. Yeah,
That would have been fun.
that would have really done it. Ads though, Tanner, did you? Was there any ads that stuck out to you? Austin Powers ad. That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
That
I didn't
was
have
pretty
much to comment on that, but I'm glad you brought that up. Like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, this is like the perfect Massenomics
It
tie-in
really
here.
makes you just want them to make another one of those movies. I'm almost shocked they haven't just made one that goes like directly to Netflix.
Right.
Because comedy movies don't really come out anymore. But
Maybe this is all a part of the.
that would be so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin Powers. Oh, man. I was excited for that one. I'm trying to think if anything else really even stuck out at me.
The Austin Powers is what stuck out to me the most.
There was that
Dude.
crypto one where it was like the QR code bouncing around on the screen for a
Yeah.
while,
Yeah. I saw
which was
that.
unique. And as far as ads go, not a lot of ads for electric vehicles. Not a lot of ads for straight up gasoline vehicles.
Right.
You usually see a lot of those. Not so
Right.
many of those.
Did they do the Budweiser frogs? Was that this year?
I don't think I saw the pony. The horse
the
was out.
Clydesdales.
Yep,
So
I
there
didn't
was
see.
like
I didn't see no frogs.
the whole
though.
dog and pony show.
It was a dog and pony show, actually. Yeah. I think that's kind of the Super Bowl in a nutshell, isn't it? Matthew Stafford in a nutshell.
How did I get this bloody nutshell? Should we talk about our the real big news of the week?
Oh, The Sopranos. Larry David one was funny. I just looked over here.
Okay.
Larry David one was funny.
The
and
Sopranos one.
The
they had
Sopranos
the,
one
it
was
was
good too,
the
with
girl.
Meadow
Yeah.
and AJ.
Yeah.
That was good too. I thought that was pretty well done.
It did. You know what that made that commercial? My exact thought when I saw that the Sopranos one was, it'd be really funny to do a Western Northeast South Dakota version
God,
of
that
that.
would be.
Just like me and you driving in the car, just like
Just all of
going by the gym.
the
and like,
dumb landmarks in town. That would be really funny, actually.
Woke up
God,
this morning.
we'll have to keep that on the list.
Yes.
That would be hilarious.
We'll do that as
Just to
one of our
like-
own
yeah,
submissions
just
into
to
a
get
contest.
to the gym,
yeah. And the end thing is we're in the gym.
just on your way to the gym. Yeah.
Like we leave the podcast studio and go get to. Isn't he? He's driving a Suburban in that, isn't he?
He always drives a Tahoe.
Or Tahoe,
He
or is
starts in the beginning, I think, with a.
It's either a Tahoe or Suburban.
Yeah, I think he
some-
starts in the Suburban, then he goes to a
Okay.
Tahoe, and then by the end of the show, he's driving an Escalade around.
Okay.
But you can get a shorter Escalade. But
Right.
it's always.
But
in that.
you've got
We
the
can hop in my
Tahoe,
Tahoe.
yeah.
We'll go drive around. We'll be like chugging monsters, like on our way to the gym. Yeah, with crazy. Instead of them going over bridges, it'll just be us going over our overpass in town.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go over the overpass.
We'll
like
go
7
drive by our
times.
billboard.
I like it. That'd be good.
That was honestly the first. That's what I live with now. It's like everything I think about.
I
is
did
like,
not think of
yeah.
that, but that is really good.
But no, we should talk about the coolest thing this week is the big drop. That's we're recording this on Wednesday. The drop's coming out tomorrow, Thursday. So by the time this podcast comes out to the public, the new drop items will be launched for real, right?
They will be launched for very real.
And for our Discord audience that's watching live tonight, they're going to get the full sneak peek because we just can't wait to talk about it any longer.
This has to be out. People need to know. So, do we start with the Big Bang, or do we?
I think
build
we
up
start
to
with
it?
the tease.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Well, the T.
lead
Oh,
it.
the T. Like, don't tease them.
Oh,
but talk about the tease.
tease.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the shirt.
So, first T-shirt, and we do got to give the Discord some credit. Their detective skills have been not that it's been overly secret, but they have been keeping their eye on the ball here. So, the first one would be the Natural for Life. The gains are never easy.
Yep.
And this is, of course, a a bit of a return to our roots, you could say.
It is a return to our roots.
And this one has been seen on a few people over the last couple of weeks, from Ben Pollock to Jonathan Oldham, maybe even some other people.
Yeah, I think some other people out there.
So
We haven't been sharing them.
no,
but
we've kept it. We've tried to keep it pretty low key.
Yeah.
So that one is it's a bit of a parody of sorts.
Yep.
I think you might understand.
Use
what
your
I'm getting
imagination
for.
on that one.
Natural for life.
Some people have asked, so is that a shirt that people wear ironically, or is it a shirt that people wear if they are really natural?
And the answer is yes. Yes.
That's right. Yes, the answer is both. Actually, I think we'll see a lot of some of both of that. So yes, it works just equally as good both ways, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other tee is what we're calling our logo block tee.
Which is going to turn into another classic going out tee for people.
True. And it's on a
God, I should have brought it down.
yeah, we don't have it with us right
Wasn't
now.
thinking on that one.
It's on like a dark heathered gray.
Mm-hmm.
It might be called gunmetal heather. I can't remember what that color is exactly, but it's a dark heather gray, real similar to the original Icon tee color.
Yep.
That dark gray of the original Icon tee.
Might even be the same color.
It is actually. It is. Yeah, I shouldn't say it's a real similar. It is that same tee. And then what do you call that? It's our stencil logo on the front.
We just have our straight up logo across the front, which is the first time we've ever just had our name and the logo all in one line.
Yep.
We use that logo on a fair number of things. We've never put that on a shirt.
Yep.
So I have that on the front. And then on the back, we have a big block of kind of a distressed Massenomics logo pattern.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's a big pattern, and can't do it justice by talking about that one over the podcast airwaves. But you just have to check it out when you can see it on our website.
It's a little more of a subtle T-shirt compared to some of our others, but it looks great all the time.
Exactly, perfect for going out.
A great shirt for that true Massenomics fan.
True dat.
And finally, the moment everyone has been waiting for.
I would say there was some other potential items that were maybe going to be in this drop. They just didn't get here on time, so you've all got to keep waiting on that. We hinted at them earlier.
Yeah, there is
just
some
to follow up. There's some other stuff that just wasn't ready in time.
Yeah, so that might have to wait towards, well, probably after the Arnold now, honestly. But the most important thing
Yes.
up there, and the most important things ever to come from Massenomics. Get the crowd going! We have
Going, boys.
the long-awaited Lift Shorts 3.
There they are.
And these are completely custom to Massenomics.
They are.
We didn't take the
Start
plain
from
ones.
scratch.
We didn't take the plain ones and put a logo on it. We built the damn things.
Finally, we didn't just do the plain ones and just put our logo
We
on
didn't
it
just
and
do
charge
the,
more.
yeah. So big highlights of these. People have been asking for something like this for a while. Shorter cut. People wanted a shorter cut for a long time. These are a 6-inch inseam, so significantly shorter than our champion ones. Say 9-inch inseam.
They're all of 9.
Those are all of 9. Yeah. These are definitely a 6-inch inseam. So, okay, you have a shorter short. What's the deal besides that? Well, on the side we have this pretty cool panel.
Another pattern.
Another pattern.
Not the same as on the logo block.
Yeah,
tee, but
another
different
pattern on here, because these are lift shorts, a pattern that says lift in a variety of ways. It's a very tone-on-tone look going down the side. You have this nice little slit in the thigh for a little breathability there, extra mobility. We have the Massenomics logo screen printed. Has a little bit of a reflective character to it. And
yeah,
that's
what do you
pretty
call
cool.
that? That's like almost like 3M reflective.
Yeah, I don't know
or-
if that's actually what it is, but
Okay.
it does.
It
It
is
has
like
that
that, yeah.
reflective characteristic to it, and
Yeah.
this accent on the side here does too. But then we start getting into the crazy stuff, Tanner.
Yeah,
The crazy
deets.
stuff.
The devil.
So
you know where you find? You know what's in those pockets? The devil.
the devil. So we get in here, and we have pockets. Okay, yeah, all shorts have pockets. What's the big deal?
Not
you
all
say?
shorts. Some
Well,
shorts don't
yeah,
even
actually-
have those. but-
Yeah, right. Most shorts that matter have pockets.
Yeah.
But these ones have pockets. Yeah, sure.
Someone is right. They're pulling money out of their pockets. That is what's going to happen
But when
here.
you open the pocket, what is that? Is that a pocket of Jefferson's?
Jefferson
That is
deadlift
right.
$2
These
bills.
pockets are printed with Jefferson deadlift $2 bills, so you can walk around being the richest guy in town now. Because when you pay for that,
And what is the $2 bill say on it? Is it lift hard, live easy?
it's a lift hard, live easy $2 Jefferson bill.
Yeah.
Amazing
Legal
stuff.
tender.
Legal tender everywhere things are accepted.
Legal tender in western northeast South Dakota.
And if that wasn't good enough, we also have two
There's a second
little
pocket
secret
on each
zipper pockets. And these are more of like a little, almost like a
Change
a
or
valuables, change, stash
put your
type
wedding
pocket.
ring in there maybe.
Yeah, it's not something you're going to put. You can't like fit a phone in these ones. These aren't big pockets.
Someone said
but,
condom. Yeah.
but yeah, you could. And these also have a little bit of the Jefferson
tiny little
bills in
pocket.
them. So yeah, you can throw some change, your keys, something small, zip those up, and you're secure, safe, and good to go. We also have drawstrings on there.
With the almost like the
Yep,
chrome.
these
tipped,
nice-
they're
chrome
very
tips.
nice draw
Chrome
tips.
tips. Got to have the chrome tips on there.
Just like Exhibit would want when he pimped your shorts ride.
We also have the faux fly stitched in there, like you see on so many premium shorts nowadays. Am I missing anything, Tanner?
The tag is custom.
And of course the
Massenomics
custom
tag.
Massenomics tag. Lift hard, live easy. God, I mean, you got to see them in person. These things are a thing of beauty.
Yep.
They're amazing.
They are. They're
I've worn mine a few times. I love them.
they're really a high
Quality item.
Yeah, high quality. And they are cut and sew is the terminology, but basically we started from nothing and designed these from the ground up, and it took forever.
Yep. Close to 6 months. Supply chain.
Yeah.
Really, there was a point we really thought we were going to have these well in time for Black Friday, and it by like October was looking like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then November came, December, January. Here we are into February, 4 months later. So
These are certainly the nicest pair of shorts we've ever had, and they are the most expensive that we've ever had.
Most expensive.
You thought we when you thought we couldn't charge more for shorts, the Lift Shorts 3 are here. Bam. To a note on sizing, we have them available in small through 2X. These do fit differently than our champion shorts that we also sell in small through 2X. Obviously, they're shorter.
Yep.
We're going to have a sizing chart available.
Yeah, we'll have a
on the
sizing
site
chart. Well,
that
first,
you can refer to.
I'll build a sizing, or I built a sizing chart with measurements so people can actually see, what these measurements are. But we also have model photos with different models listed with their height and weight, so you can see what these look like on different people. Naturally, Larry Legend was involved by popular demand. We had to make sure he was included.
And was he wearing larges?
He wore larges.
Okay, and you wear what?
So I'm 6'1", 200 pounds. I wear a large. Large fits me good.
Larry is 5'8" to
10-ish, he said.
He also
wears a large.
It looked like a good fit on him.
It was a good fit on him too.
We had who else was there?
Anthony.
Big Anthony. And what is he?
He was about 5'8" as well, 5'7", and he weighs about 170. And he wore mediums, and those were an awesome fit on him.
Right. I am 6'2", 6'3", 260, and I wear the 2XL. I can fit into the XL. They're really tight. Some people might want that fit, I guess. Depending
and part
on
of
what
it
you're
does
after.
come down to how
how you like
your stuff to fit.
Yeah, how you want them to fit.
Because I can wear a medium. It's just
not comfortable for
it's
you.
just slightly tighter than what I would prefer.
The 2XL I think fits awesome on me. It is like the perfect fitting shorts on me. That is the largest size that we have. We were going to have one size larger, a 3X, but supply chain issues. We were not able to have those in this particular run. So 2X is the largest. Maybe someday we're able to get something larger, but we've got the small through 2X, and I think we're going to have like plenty of sufficient information on the site with the sizing chart and the model photos to help you make your selection on what size you want.
There'll be lots of information there. So you should be able to make a pretty educated guess. And, when in doubt, you just buy 3 pairs and you just wear them all.
Yes.
Or give 1 or 2 away.
Yes.
To prove you're the richest man around.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah, if you can buy 3 pairs of these, you've got some dough.
Some real dough. Anything else about these? Oh, we have some fun content planned around these too.
We do. We have
So
some
be on the
stuff in the
lookout for
works. We even actually got some of the unpaid intern crew involved in stuff. We've got Massenomics sponsored lifters involved in some things that are coming out. All kinds of other
We
lifter
basically have
cameos,
some cameo appearances lined up.
that I think people are gonna love. Really funny stuff to help promote the Lift Shorts 3, and get used to hearing a lot about the Lift Shorts 3 because we're going to be talking about them all the time.
Our lives are banking on this.
If we really want those kids to go to college, we're going to have to sell a pair of Lift Shorts 3.
Do we need to do supporting our supporting members here, Tanner?
Yeah, let's do supporting our supporting members. I think that's a great idea. Tommy, you're familiar with supporting our supporting members. It is a relatively newer segment to the podcast. I start by saying that it is relatively new.
One of the fan favorites
segments.
segments.
One of the fastest growing segments for sure. What supporting our supporting members is, we take this opportunity. We have this group of supporting members. They choose to become financial supporting members of the podcast. They do that by going on our website. It's in the shop. There's a few different options. There's a $3 option, $6 option, $20 option. There's a $50 option. They all have creative names behind them. Or what's the specific site if you just wanted to go to it right now?
Massenomics.com/join.
You could go there right now and become a supporting member. By being a supporting member, you get access to the exclusive Massenomics online Discord community, which by being on the Discord community, it is a really active community. Even right now, it's just popping off. You get to listen to the podcast live as we record it on Wednesday nights. Usually is when we record. You get there's a discount code in there. You get early info on drops. All kinds of. There's actually even more stuff that we don't even tell you about until you're in there. So
yep, you just got to get in there.
But this segment is our opportunity to give back to this group of individuals a little bit. So here we go, supporting our supporting members. Number 1, big Waffle Iron Jim, Stephen Rose. Congratulations, him and his significant other. They just had a new baby girl, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Congratulations.
I think by having the baby, they actually missed out on a meetup with some of the other supporting members. I think Big Frank and Big Eddie met up, and he missed out on that. So I don't know. Was it worth it?
Yeah, you got to think about that one. That one might haunt you for a while.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, you live and you learn.
Yep.
And
always next time.
The other one is Big Lou. Big Lou Nutter was... What does Big Eddie say? They're together right now? Oh, okay. They're meeting up right now. Good. But Big Lou Nutter competed this week at the Ghost Clash in Miami. And I don't know if he had a perfect meet, but not everyone always has a perfect meet, right? So we still want to support him in competing and putting it all out there on the line.
you went to the Ghost Clash in Miami. You kind of won no matter what.
Exactly. So we just wanted to give our support to Big Lou, and I don't know, I think he got some red lights on squat depth, and people in the Discord community were talking about it. It looked like some of them might have been good, but I don't know. We weren't the judges there that day. Either way, we support Big Lou and his Malibu.
In my heart, I say they're all good.
Yep.
I would also like to recognize Big Chris. He did some investigative work and went to a Red Robin.
No. There's been so many people going to Red Robins. I'm sick of all these people acting like they're at Red Robin. Yeah, you're at Red Robin, sure. Like if I had a nickel for everyone that thought they were going to a Red Robin, I would be rich. Yeah. Well, I'm on to their schemes.
Something to keep an eye on.
Some of them have made some pretty elaborate little hoaxes, put hoaxes together in order to make it look like they went to one of these Red Robins that exist.
Yeah, I know. We'll watch. Joey's got a point here. Supporting member Big Jess was also at the Ghost Clash.
Good point. She wasn't competing though, right?
She was not competing.
No.
But there's technically another Massenomics supporting membership meetup there.
Yes.
And we kind of forgot to
That's true. Good point. You know what else I wanted to tell you about today, Tommy?
What would you like to tell me about?
The Strength Co. This particular episode of the podcast is actually brought to you by the Strength Co. and our good friend Grant over there. They've been saying that Grant Brogy is like the Buddy Caps of our generation.
That makes a lot of sense.
It really is. There's like a lot of parallels in that comparison.
There are.
Buddy addressed the known issues and created the Texas Power Bar. Well, Grant, during a plate shortage,
he basically addressed
all the known issues, didn't he?
Not only in plates, but pretty much in the supply chain too. By bringing it to America.
He almost single-handedly fixed the supply chain issues in American-made classic styling weight plates, Olympic 2-inch
did.
center hole plates. And I love the plates too, because I was just talking about this the other day with someone. The fit on the barbell
It never
is
gets
like
old.
no,
It never gets old.
And also, we've had the plates for quite a while now. They hold up beautifully. Excellently. Like
There's in the business, there's a term for this. It's called tough as a house.
they are strong as a house.
Strong as
And
a house.
with the
Sorry,
best,
I'm-
yeah, they're strong as a house with the best e-coat finish.
Yep, they are.
They really do hold up really
They do.
well. They are not the cheapest plate out there, because these are like the premium
Because they're
plates
not
that
the
you're
cheapest plate
right.
out
These
there.
are actually like, I promise you, especially with what prices have done, the value, it is an excellent value. Not cheap. These aren't cheap plates. These are excellent value plates, because what you're paying for, you're getting in return and then some.
Plus, they look damn good.
They do, and that's kind of the icing on the cake to me. Is just like the I always think it's like a classic American plate styling.
And there's a lot of plates that might look cool on a weight tree, but then you put them on a bar and they look like any other plate.
Yep,
These don't. They look
Yep.
good on a weight tree, on a bar. Anyway,
that's right. So head over to the Strength Co. and buy yourself some plates.
strengthco.com.
That's right. Now I want to do something I've never done before.
Oh boy. Here we go.
I wanted to tell you all about SPUD Ink. SPUD Ink straps, and specifically today I want to tell you about the Magic Carpet Dually version.
Whoa.
There's the Magic Carpet,
There's
the
a
pull
dually
sled.
one?
There's a dually version.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you about the Magic Carpet
What will they
sled
think of
dually.
next over there?
Yeah, it's the updated version of their best-selling and innovative indoor-outdoor nylon dragging sled. The original Magic Carpet sled was adopted as the Army standard when they implemented the new ACFT. The new dually one-handle sled has a beefed-up bottom section so it can take more abuse.
Oh, we all loved a beefed up bottom
Exactly.
section, don't we?
Ain't that the truth? They fortified the slide buckle strap with 2 reinforced strips to prevent it from being ripped off over time. Next, they added a back catch strap to keep the bumper weight plate on the sled from slipping off the back. That makes sense. Additionally, the catch strap considerably drops the chances of the sled flipping over on extreme turns and cornering, because that's like me when I'm out there. There's some pretty extreme turns and cornering when I get going on that sled.
It's like a freaking NASCAR racetrack. Extreme turns and corners.
The final addition was making the single handle sled strap a permanent part of the sled so that it is all in one simple, excellent, easy to use piece. That is the Magic Carpet Dually version pull sled. I kind of want one. No, we don't have one, and
That
that's
actually would be a pretty
I'm
decent
pretty
piece.
I'm pretty sold on that.
Yeah.
You know,
What's the cost on one of those bad boys?
they cost $164.
Cheap.
It's for
What a Prowler cost these days?
yeah. I was gonna say, for the utility that you can get out of this thing and for how compact.
Can I see a
and,
picture of it? Okay, yeah.
You know, it's easy to store anywhere. You could take it with you anywhere you go, and
Fits
a lot of
under the
function.
bed.
A lot of function fits under the bed. So thank you, SPUD Ink. Okay, should we say goodbye to the Discord community?
Bye, Discord. Tomorrow's the drop, so
See you
know
guys
what to
then.
do.
And now, should we say hello to Geno?
Let's do it.
Tanner,
Big Geno, how you doing?
how are you?
We're good. You're on live with Tanner and Tommy.
What's up, Geno?
Hey, Massenomics is in the house. Does that sound
Oh,
Does that sound familiar?
that's great, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but from that interview, we've pulled out that little clip where you said Massenomics, and that plays on the intro of every episode we've done now for what, Tanner?
Hundreds of
100,
episodes.
200
Yeah.
episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm honored, and I didn't know that until just recently, this past week, when I was talking to someone telling them that I was going to be on with you guys. They said, "Yeah, you're on every intro," and I said, "Really?" I had no clue until a week ago. So I thank you for that. That's an honor and a pleasure.
You haven't been getting those royalty checks in the mail for that, then? Or?
They must have been getting lost in the mail.
We must have your old address.
That's what it is. That's for sure what it is. No, that's true. We got the opportunity. I think we interviewed you a couple different years at the Arnold. You know, it's probably going back, I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe something
probably
like that.
2016 might have been the first one.
Yeah. And then on top of that, we've gotten the opportunity to be, Tommy has competed at meets where you've been emceeing, which is
Two of them.
which is a really awesome experience.
When was the last time, Tommy?
So the last one would have been the South Dakota State meet in, was it
2018 maybe? Would that sound right to you?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think you've only done the South Dakota, the one in Sioux Falls. I think you've done that twice, and I did both of those.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be about 2018 around there. But yeah, great meets, ton of fun.
You know, I'm coming out to your place, to your state, on April 2nd, I believe.
Ooh, are you announcing that meet?
Yes.
Oh, we'll be there. We're going to be setting up a booth, hopefully, and we got several lifters competing there. So I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have told you. It would have been a surprise.
This is even better. We can plan for it now. But no, that's exciting. We'll be there. We'll get to see you then. And we're also going to get to see you at the Arnold, I think, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to be exhausted. Let me tell you, I'm going to be exhausted on April 2nd, but I am going to go on pure energy and fumes, and I'm going to make that a good competition from an announcing standpoint, that is. But I'll have just come off a week of announcing the high school and collegiate nationals in Chicago.
Okay. So what are you announcing at the Arnold this year?
Honest answer is they never tell me.
Okay.
I get there and they say, I don't get any schedule ahead of time. You know what I mean? I just get there and I get there a day early. I check in and they say, okay, tomorrow morning you're doing this, or tomorrow morning you're doing that, or you're off in the morning and you're on in the afternoon, and you're going to be in the SPUD in the morning, and then we're going to have you come out and onto the one of the main stages, out to the Rogue stage, or the other one in the afternoon. And I kind of go literally day by day is how that kind of works out. There's wherever they tell me to go, I run to.
Yeah, the infamous SPUD. That's right. And I guess I don't know, and maybe you don't know either. It sounds like I'm not sure what the exact setup is for USAPL meets this year, if there's some out there in that SPUD again, and then on the main stage too. But I guess we'll all find out soon.
Well, here's what I do know. I do know we are back in SPUD, and I do know that we have, they said, an extra event or one more event more than we have in previous years. Now, whether that means one more event in SPUD or one more event out on the main stages, I'm not sure. But what I am sure of is that we are going to have a bigger presence in terms of the number of competitions that we're going to have this year than any other year, which is a good thing.
Okay. So backing up a little bit, I would say that you are kind of like the live MC of powerlifting. If anyone has a
claim to that title.
Yeah, a claim to that title, it's you, and you've been that way for a while. But we kind of want to know, so how did you get your start in on the mic in general, whether it was pre-powerlifting or wherever that was? Where did you get your start? Well, I used to work in corporate America, believe it or not. Nobody believes me when I tell them that. I have an undergraduate degree in economics and a master's degree in finance. I specialized in portfolio theory and investment analysis, and I worked for a Fortune 50 company at their corporate headquarters doing their financials, and did that for many, many years. I then kind of got, that's tedious work, especially for me to sit in a cubicle all day long. You can only imagine. And I got tired of that, and I said, I'd like to try something different. Can I try working in your consumer promotions department? It just sounded like fun, because one day a guy from the consumer promotions department came up to me and said, I need you to do a financial analysis for me. I'm bringing this football player into a store. The company was Nabisco, the cookie cracker company, Oreo Ritz crackers. And he said, we want to bring a football player into our local store to do a signing.
how many incremental boxes of cookies and crackers do we have to sell in order to make it break even?
Yeah.
And doing a financial analysis, I did it for them. And they said, well, why don't you come and watch the event? And I said, sure, thanks for inviting me. And it was just pure excitement and pure energy. And this is where I want to be. And I moved into that department, and they said, well, you're going to have to take a demotion. And I said, that's fine. I don't care. So I had to take a demotion in title, but they paid me more money. Can you figure that out?
Okay. Sign me up for that demotion
Yeah,
any
no
day.
kidding.
Yeah,
Geez.
I said, I'll take that lower title anytime you want, as long as you're going to pay me more money.
Yeah.
You can sit me at a little table in the corner. I don't need a bigger cubicle. So I started doing promotional events. Basically, it was a lot of corporate policies where I was hiring sports and entertainment equities for these corporate sponsorships that we would do. So, I mean, we had a lot of big names. We had, I did work with NSYNC and Britney Spears and Faith Hill and Ringo Starr. And I actually sang backup on one of those tours with Ringo Starr, which was kind of a claim to fame that very few people know about.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
is very wild. That seems very wild.
Yeah, not too many people can say they sang backup for a Beatles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
A Beatle up on stage. So that was kind of fun. And what I would do is, I was working with people like Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter and Pete Rose and Muhammad Ali. We were with once at a signing. So all big names. And I would have to, like when we did the thing with Derek Jeter, it was a charity softball game. And I was the guy on the microphone announcing the softball game live, actually out on the field. I kind of stood behind the pitcher with the microphone, and I was announcing at this stadium in Montclair, New Jersey, the play-by-play as the play was going on out on the field. So that's kind of where I got my first start with announcing on a microphone. And then my friend said to me, he owned a couple of bars on the Jersey Shore. And he said, I'm looking to pump up, business in one of my clubs. Can you help me out? He said, what do you think we should do? And I said, well, I'm not going to get you Britney Spears at your club. She's not going to come. And you don't have a budget for that. And we decided that what the obvious best fit when you're a bar that's located actually on the beach would be a bikini contest.
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
Yeah. So every Saturday, we ran a female bikini contest, and every Sunday a male bikini contest. and so I'd have to card up on Saturday. I'd card 10 judges up there, 10 male judges for the female contest, and then 10 female judges on Sunday for the male contest. And I was the guy on the microphone running the bikini contest. And which wasn't that tough a job. That was, you take 700 drunk guys off the beach. you take 20 drunker women off the beach to cart them up on stage, and they go straight across the stage in their G-strings, and the crowd just goes crazy. And it was kind of like if you remember the old Wet and Wild days, that show that was on, and it was a little. I mean, this wasn't Miss America beauty pageant. This was a beach a club on the Jersey Shore beach. So it was kind of wild. And so I was announcing those contests for a while. And a fella came up to me after one of the shows, after one of the contests in the audience. And he said, I own a powerlifting gym in your town. Do you want to come and announce a powerlifting competition? And this was like in 1999. And I said, no. And he said, why not? I said, you see what I do here. I do, I don't do much. I just scream and yell up here, and then these women run across the stage, and these guys run across the stage, and their little G-strings. And he said, come on. He said, anything would be better than what we've got now. I said, I don't even know the sport. He said, you come, you train at the gym, you can train with the power lifters, and you learn the sport, and then you can announce. I said, all right, I'll give it a try. I mean, you're in my town. It's, you're 4 minutes from my house. So I started to go to the gym, and I started to train every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, obviously, I was a lousy power lifter. I had the exact opposite frame that one should have for powerlifting. So I was never competitive, but I enjoyed the sport very much, and I had made a lot of friends with several world champions who came out of that gym, and multi-time national champions, guys like who are still around to this day. Billy Clayton is still around, and a guy named Ray Benamarito is a 15, 16-time national champion. I was working out with them 3 days a week. Learning the sport, and I learned the sport, and then I showed up the first time for the first competition, and everybody's got their powerlifting outfits on, and people that are in the audience are just wearing sweats, and I show up in, I was up on stage in one of my rock and roll outfits when I was on tour with Britney or something, So I had the leather pants and the hats and the jewelry and the bandanas, and I wasn't dressed like a power lifter. So I come out and I'm dressed in what I think are my rock and roll clothes. And I announced the first competition, and I ran that competition more like a wild bikini contest than I did a powerlifting show. I can tell you that. And so half the people thought I was insane, and the other half wanted me to come back and do it again. So there was the genesis of that. And then one of the powerlifters came up to me and said, "You look like a pirate." And I said, "What? I'm not a pirate. I'm a rocker. These are my rock clothes. The clothes I wear when I go on tour with rock bands." And they said, "No, we think you're a pirate." And I said, that was when all the Johnny Depp movies had started to come out. The Caribbean, and that was all the rage. And I said, "Fine, you want me to be a pirate? I'll be a pirate." and then the IPF, the International Powerlifting Federation, they had this quarterly magazine that comes out, and one of the quarters they put me on the centerfold spread, and the center page said "The Pirate of Powerlifting," and they did an article on me. And then everybody internationally started to call me the Pirate. So, I started to play the part a little bit. I bought some ruffled shirts, the puffy shirts.
Yeah, the Seinfeld puffy shirt.
Exactly right. Yeah. Exactly right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't have I didn't have like a parrot on my shoulder or an iPad, but I just a little bit more like that, just to play the part. And as soon as they said, come back and do another one in this local gym in this little town of Rockaway, New Jersey. I came back and did another one. Next thing they said, "We're running a national bench press championships at Newark Airport in New Jersey. Come announce that." I announced that. From there, they said, "Come announce the Arnolds." And at the Arnolds, first time I announced the Arnolds, a guy from Sweden came up to me and said, "Would you come and announce Bench Worlds? We're running Bench Worlds in Sweden." And I said, "Don't you have anybody in your own gym?" And he said, "No, we want you." And then once I announced that Worlds, then all the other countries just started to roll and come in with offers to come announce here, there, and everywhere. And next thing I know, I just kind of fell into the job. And after that, I was traveling the planet. I mean, you name a country, I've probably been there announcing a powerlifting competition in between all the local ones that I was running at every state in the United States. So I just kind of felt that's it. I just literally just fell into the job. There was no plan. This was just fell into it, and the rest is history.
That is quite the story.
That is. It's really kind of like a go with the flow, and like the best case happens, it feels like.
This is exactly right. It was just go with the flow and see what happens. And people say to me, "Well, what are your plans for the next few years?" And I said, same as they were now. Just go with the flow and see what happens.
It's really interesting to me that you were in corporate finance prior to. I would have. I mean, you even said it. People always say, "No way," But
Tanner's borderline in that same field. So, like the idea of Tanner announcing a meet like you really, really makes me laugh thinking about that.
Really?
Yeah. That's funny. That's interesting.
I'll have to show you a picture. I was just going to say, I'll have to show you a picture of me when I was wearing my suit and tie and cufflinks. And
that's
travel with short hair, traveling on the corporate jets, going to these board of directors meetings. It was quite the experience.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's funny too, that your look, the way that it, you kind of showed up your first one, and it just took off from there. Yeah, it was just like, yep, this is it. This is what I do now.
The new career.
I'm curious, like, going to Sweden or going to all these other countries, is the default that everyone announces in English at all of these you know?
Believe it or not, it is. I wasn't sure about that actually when I first went. I said, "Yeah, I don't even speak the language. What are you guys kidding?"
Right.
They said, "No." They said every International Powerlifting Federation competition has to be announced in English. Those are the rules. So, which works
for
well
us.
for me. I'm a typical American. You know, I know one language.
Yep.
That's true with most of us, you know, whereas you go to these other countries and they know 2, 3, and 4 languages. But no, this was every competition has to be announced in English. So it makes that a little bit easier. Now, and most of them, the toughest ones were like Japan. Japan, they don't have many people that spoke English that understood, you know, at the competition, so they were missing most of it. You were basically just announcing to the other lifters that were there.
Right.
But most of the other countries, they all spoke English as their second language and understood, but it was mostly Japan and Poland. Not a lot of English speaking there, so that those countries were tough, but the other ones were fairly easy. And then I would always pick up a few pointers. I would learn a few lines, a few key lines, like the bar is loaded and the lift is good in various languages. So, and they would all cheer when I do that, especially Japan, when I would throw a couple of the Japan lines out there. The Americans would look at me like, "If you're just talking gibberish," and I said, "No, I'm not. I'm speaking Japanese, and they know what I'm saying."
He's been on the mic too long. He's hallucinating.
What about your background in music then? You must have some sort of background there that, you know, you'd even get on stage with Ringo and stuff like that. Have you know, was that always something that you've been interested in?
I always had a background in music, and I played the keyboards a little bit, but I did not play keyboards when I was on stage with him. When I was up there, that was just background vocals. And believe me, I'm not the greatest singer, but you kind of get washed out up there anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It was kind of just he's got the whole ensemble up there with him, and when I was up there, I was just part of a bigger crew, so I really wasn't getting any Grammys for anything I was doing up there. I can tell you that. So I was mostly just backup vocals. Keyboards was just a minor thing that I do on the side.
Okay. You talked about all the, you know, you've been almost everywhere in the world to announce and everything. You've announced thousands of competitors. Do you have any moments in particular that stick out to you in powerlifting that were some of your favorite to announce, or you know, the most exciting?
I do. There's a few. You know, obviously some of the key ones are the big ones. Okay, like I remember when I was announcing in Atlanta at Raw Nationals, the first time anybody squatted 1,000 pounds raw, over 1,000 pounds raw, was Ray Williams. And the place they were hanging from the rafters. They were screaming so much, and I got them all pumped up. And I remember when they were loading up the bar, I was standing next to Ray, and he mumbled under his breath. He mumbled, "Load it up, load it up." He kept saying to himself, because they just kept putting more red plates on it. Couldn't believe how many red plates they kept putting on each side. And I said, "You know what Ray just said?" I said, "He said, load it up." I said, "Let's everybody get behind him and say, load it up." And the whole audience would go, "Load it up." And I'd say, "Load it up." And they'd go, "Load it up." And I'd say, "Load it up." And I went back and forth until they finished loading all the reds up. And then the place was just going nuts. And when he squatted that, it was just pure energy and excitement. At the Arnold's, when various lifters got records at the Arnold's, you know, probably the biggest would be not Ray Williams, but what's his name? The equipped lifter.
Oh, Blaine Sumner.
Blaine Sumner. When
Yeah.
Blaine Sumner got out there, and I think that was the first time he did. He broke the world record in the squat, and then another year when Blaine came, I got to go on the main stage out there. That was big. That was another big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Blaine because anytime you're I was just going to say another one that I really enjoy doing is there's so much energy at the Arnold's, except for this last year, which I'll get to in a second as to why it wasn't.
Yeah.
But there was so much energy at the Arnold's every year. And the one year when I got to announce Blaine Sumner benching 1,024 pounds was just. That was just unbelievable. Again, the exhilaration and the energy in the room and the excitement and the awe that everybody had watching somebody bench over 1,000 pounds with a shirt on was just unbelievable. But it was interesting. This past time that I announced was, the start of the pandemic. They canceled last year, right? I think at the Arnold's there was no Arnold's, but the year before. The whole country closed down like a week after the Arnold's, and they didn't allow only people that were allowed to go to the Arnold's. When was that? In 2019,
2020, yeah.
2020.
Yeah,
Sorry,
2020,
not
yeah.
2020. Yeah, were lifters, were competitors, so there were no spectators. And you guys obviously know, coming there every year, that place pulls in like 250,000 people running that convention center, and it was just empty. I mean, our room was full, but it's pretty easy to fill up the little SPUD.
Right.
But there was nothing going on in the big ballroom in there, and it lost some of its energy. And that's why I'm hoping that there are no restrictions this year or the limits into the number of people that they allow on. Waylon Chen, I think Waylon Chen is another one, if I'm saying her name properly. She once, if you look in the record books now, she's from Chinese Taipei, and I was announcing a Worlds in Orlando, I believe, and she was squatting, and she squatted, I don't know, close to 4 times her body weight. I think it's still in the record books now if you look it up with equipment on. And she, how people hit a sticking point and they will pause for a moment and then finish locking out. They come up, they hit that sticking point, and then they keep going. Well, most people, when they hit that sticking point, there's downward movement on the bar, and they get a blue card because you had some double bounce at the bottom. She came up with about 4 times her body weight, and she weighed about 100 pounds, and she hit that sticking point, and she just froze in that sticking point. The whole body was convulsing and shaking, and the audience kept screaming, and I kept screaming, and it seemed like a minute. No, I'm sure it was probably 10 seconds, but it seemed like forever that woman just stood there shaking with no downward movement until she finally locked the knees out. And that one went into the record books. And to this day, that is in the record books. That was another one to me that was memorable, if you're asking about memorable one.
Yeah.
Because, not only the big list, but when somebody does a world record and they only weigh 100 pounds, it's just as great an accomplishment,
Right. Yep. For sure. What about, we were talking about it, just, I don't know, do you call it unusual or, just,
well, you've, announced and you've seen thousands of different people perform, countless lifts over the years. Has there been anything really unusual that you've witnessed in that time?
That's a tough one. No,
nothing that sticks out overly.
Nothing. I'm trying to think of someone that would be unusual versus a tremendous achievement. Another tremendous achievement was what's his name out of he's from Nauru, Jeza Uwepa.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I went to New Zealand, actually, he was the first guy. When Ray squatted 1,000 pounds, he was the first guy to squat 1,000 pounds, but it wasn't an official world record because that was only a national meet.
Right.
He didn't do that at Worlds. The first guy to actually get the world record was at a world competition was Jeza Uwepa in New Zealand, and he was the first one that squatted it, that got that world record in the books. And there was, I remember being there, and the IPF liked me to wear a suit and tie, and kind of look like the look like the other referees. I was always in a constant battle with them over that. And so I had my suit and tie on, and the meet director and a couple of the lifters from New Zealand came up to me after day one and said, we didn't have you fly all the way to New Zealand to wear a suit and tie. We want the pirate outfit.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So I went back to the hotel room and changed. They said, you coming in a suit and tie, it's like inviting Santa Claus and he doesn't come in a red jumpsuit.
That's true.
So I came back and I put the pirate outfit on and gave them an R and then Jezza squatted over 1,000. So, but there were no real. I mean, I'll tell you one weird one. Only because I remember it so well because it was my first one. I remember saying to the guy, the Joe Moriel, who owned the club in New Jersey, the first time he said to come to announce, I said, I don't, I'm not a power lifter. I don't know these guys. He said, they're normal people. He said, you just come and wear a jacket, kind of like you do here on stage here, just wear a jacket and just dress normal. He said, they're all normal guys. And one of the first guys to come out there, he was wearing moccasins. I don't know how he got through equipment check, but he was just wearing moccasins. I guess they were all right. And they look like his slippers, and he's wearing his slippers and he gets out onto the platform and he's got the bar on his back and he proceeds to talk to himself, to pump himself up. And he is swearing and spits coming out of his mouth. And he's swearing up a storm, and he's just going crazy, talking to himself, trying to psych himself up. And this is like the very first guy, my very first announcement. And I had the microphone in my jaw opened up, and I looked over at Joe, and I'm like, "You told me these people were normal. Look at this guy." And Joe goes, "No, no, just ignore him. He's always like that." All right, but no, I can't think of any. I never got asked. That's a good question, fellas. I never got asked that question. I'll have to give that some, because there have been so many thousands of lists that I've seen. I don't really. There's nothing that's gone. Other than people dumping the bar or somebody hanging in there for a long time and then locking out. I never really. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, that's good. What do you do? So if you're not announcing a powerlifting meet, what do you got going on? What else do you do?
Nothing. And you know what? I used to, when I got out of corporate America, I used to, something I've never told anybody, I don't think, is my neighbor sold wine grapes that you buy to make homemade wine.
Right.
And for a few years, I used to help him. So I became kind of a wine connoisseur when it came to what grapes that you would blend in order to get a good variety and get a good load of grapes that you're going to, you bring them to the people's houses or to the corporations, restaurants. They actually squeeze them and then press them and you create various wines. I used to do that, on a part-time basis with my neighbor because it was his family-owned business that he lived across the street. But other than that, I mean, like, for example, let me just give you an example why I do nothing now. The month of February, this February, okay, week one was Buffalo. Week two was just Minnesota this past weekend. Week 3 is going to be Atlanta. I leave on Friday, and week 4 is going to be New Jersey. Then week 1 of March is the Arnolds. Week 2 is Boston. Week 3, Saturday is a Jen Thompson, Nick Hammer meet in North Carolina on Saturday, and then I fly home that night at 8:00, an 8:00 flight. And I announced another meet on Sunday in New Jersey. So it's Saturday, North Carolina, Sunday, New Jersey. And then 48 hours after that, I get on a plane and go to Chicago and announce for 1 week in Chicago, the high school nationals and the collegiate nationals. And then as soon as that's over, I go right from Chicago to South Dakota for Jonah's meet.
Yep.
So you're pretty much on a plane like every other day, just about.
Yeah. So because of a schedule like that, that's pretty much why if say it's a 2-day meet, I'll give you a typical rundown. It's a 2-day meet. I'm pretty much flying between the Ubers and the planes and the layovers and the delays and the weather. I'm pretty much flying all day Friday. I'll announce Saturday and Sunday all day. Then I'll fly all day Monday to get back home. And then all I do on Tuesday is like sleep the whole day. It literally takes so much out of you, both physically and emotionally. I need time just to recoup. So I'm resting all day Tuesday. Then Wednesday, I'll do some laundry, and then I have Thursday. Okay, I have one day. And then I'm turning around, getting back on a plane on Friday again. So I'm not doing much except kind of relaxing my voice and my body when I'm not announcing, because the schedule is so busy. Now, if I was only doing a few a year, I'm sure I'd have some other hobby or some other interest. But it takes a lot out of you when you do it almost every single week of the year, which I come pretty close to a lot of years.
So is your voice trained pretty well, or do you still, like, after a long weekend, will you lose your voice?
No, I won't lose my voice after a long weekend. I'm able to train it well enough. But if it's a week-long actually, I've gotten better. I remember in the beginning when I was doing the national championships, by day 3, my voice was completely hoarse and I sounded horrible up there. But couple of tricks. One, don't drink a lot of alcohol at night when everybody's drinking.
Ooh, yeah, that's a tricky one.
What's the fun in that?
That's a tough one, because if I could tell you a quick funny story that I would got into a habit of doing is when I did a Worlds, it would be a week-long competition, and the various groups would finish early. The masters lifters would finish first, and then the junior lifters would finish second, and then you get to the open lifters later in the week. So as each group would finish, they'd be done, and they're in the lobby bar, the restaurant lobby in the bar at the lobby bar of the hotel that we were at, and I'd come in, and they're already there drinking. They're all already pissed drunk, and then I would come in after not giving out the medals to the whatever group I was announcing that day, and I'd get there at 8:00 at night, and I had to be there at 8:00 the next morning. The last thing I want to do is go drinking until 4 a.m. with these guys, and I'd walk into the hotel, and they'd see me, and they go, "Geno, come over." So, I'm not going to say no and walk away. So I come over, and they'd give me a shot, and I would do a shot with 20 people. They're all screaming and yelling, and then I would wait about 3 or 4 minutes, and everybody would go back to their talking and their conversations, and I would start to walk backwards. I would not even turn my back. I would literally sit down. It was science. I would
moonwalk.
Just take steps. Yes, exactly. I would take steps backwards, and when I would hit the wall, I would turn the corner and get to the elevator and get up to the room. And none of them they thought I was with them till 4 a.m. They don't remember the next day.
You can't see this, Geno, but Tanner's actually taking notes right now.
Yeah, because I'm kind of the expert trying to get out of things early. I'm like, walk back. Don't even turn your back on them. Just slowly back towards the door. I like it.
That's the best way. You're not impolite to anybody, and you're following through. So it's get a lot of sleep. You need to get as much sleep as you can. Don't drink a lot of alcohol. It makes your throat hoarse. A lot of nights I would just take hot water and pour honey in the hot water and drink the hot water with the honey, and it kind of coats the throat and soothes the throat a little bit. And then try to get as much rest as you can in between the various the rigorous schedule of the day after day after day after day. So those are some little pointers that I've managed to work on, where I can now go an entire. Oh, and I also I'd go to their PA systems, and I would turn the volume way up.
Oh yeah.
So that I'm not putting the strain on my vocal cords. I'm not yelling that loud because the volume is already loud. So you just hold the mic. There's another trick, Tanner. Make sure you take notes on this one. You just hold the microphone further away from your mouth, and it comes in at normal normal volume because you've got it further away from your mouth. And if you want to scream and yell when you hold it close to your mouth, you already have the PA system set so high that it's coming out louder, even though you're not putting that strain on your vocal cords, on your voice. Then, so you can manipulate.
These are the tricks of the trade.
Yeah. You're learning them all now.
Yeah.
You can manipulate the volume that way, and it helps save the voice a little bit.
That's good. Geno, we've got this game we play with every guest called Overrated or Underrated, and it's just this series of topics that we handpick for you, and we'll fire them over to you, and you just decide if each one's overrated or underrated. And the most important thing to remember is you can't ride the line. You have to arrive at a final decision on if each one is overrated or underrated. So if you're ready to play, we'll fire them over to you.
I'm ready to rock.
All right. Overrated or underrated? We talked about this a little bit. The Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
I'm gonna say overrated only because that's why they were calling me the pirate, and I wasn't a pirate. So I think they're overrated. Although the movies were all great, and Keith Richards was in one of them from the Rolling Stones. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, overrated. Okay.
What did he play? Was he?
He played Johnny Depp's father.
Oh,
okay.
I don't know if you didn't know that.
No,
I don't know.
Do you know?
I haven't seen all those movies though.
Okay, well, listen to this. When they interviewed Johnny Depp, he said that when he was playing the role early on, he said he modeled himself after Keith Richards. And when that hit the news, in the third rendition that came out, they actually got Keith Richards to come and play his father, and he was in one of them because he had modeled himself after Keith Richards in the whole series. That's kind of how Keith. Yeah, his mannerisms and when he talks like that. Yeah, that's all Keith Richards and. And so it's kind of cool to see Keith Richards go on. Yeah, but overrated because that's what they took that to the nth degree and called me a pirate. I'd rather be called a rocker than a pirate.
Okay, overrated or underrated? Another MC, famous one, Bruce Buffer.
Oh God, I can't walk the line, can I?
No.
There's rules here.
Yeah, there's rules. Yeah.
See, I want to say underrated because he look what he did. He says he's got his one line, which, by the way, are you guys aware of the fact that he has incorporated that line that you cannot say that line?
Yeah, he owns that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he owns the rights to that. You have to pay him if you're going to say "Let's get ready to rumble" at some official event. So I think underrated from the standpoint of look at what this guy was able to do with one line, and he's so famous for that. But underrated, I want to say, because that's all he does, and then he walks off. He's not there for 10 hours a day like I am. So if I have to go one way or the other, I'm going to go underrated because he's only talking for 10 seconds.
That's true. Okay, overrated or underrated? Motley Crue.
Underrated. I want to see them at more powerlifting competitions, their music at more powerlifting competitions. Can't get enough Motley Crue, pal. I always make sure I play Kickstart My Heart and Girls, Girls. And underrated. And as a band, I think they're fabulous. So I'm going to go underrated.
Like, that's when I picture Geno at a meet, I picture like Kickstart My Heart coming on and people just jumping around going crazy. Like, that's what comes to mind for me.
Kickstart My Heart is such a great song to start a session, not bench. It's either got to be squat or deadlift. You can't start with bench because bench is when you kind of mellow out and you have to turn the volume of the music down because people are.
It's kind of the break in between. It kind of is.
It is. It's the break in between, and you can't be. There has to be highs and lows.
You can't turn it up to 10 for 8 straight hours.
Yeah.
No, you can't, and the audience wouldn't engage if you were up to 10 the whole time. You have to have ebb and flow, and bench is perfect time to do that because it's in the middle and they're laying on the bench looking up at the ceiling. They can't see the chief referee. They
Right.
can only hear. So the music's got to be turned much lower. But you put on a motley crew when they come out and the first guy starts pulling. You know what they say, the competition doesn't really start until the first weight hits the floor.
That's right.
And when you turn motley crew way up, and I always say the same thing. I say, we turn the volume down during benching, but when they start pulling, I said, buckle your seatbelts. It's going to get loud in here. And it usually gets pretty loud with some Motley Crue. Underrated.
What's your favorite Motley Crue song? Is
Definitely Kickstart My Heart.
Okay. I think that's
I'd agree with
what
that
else
too.
is there? Live Wire, is that
Yeah, Life's in there. Yeah.
And then is Shout at the Devil, is that Motley Crue or is that somebody else?
It's Motley Crue.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a Motley Crue, right?
I think so.
I think so.
I've played that a few times. Now I usually put on 6/6 when you know me in 302.5, right?
Yep, that's 666. Yeah.
666. I usually put on 666 from Iron Maiden,
Yep.
but I do have a few others that I sometimes go to, which is Shout at the Devil, and I'll put on Highway to Hell from AC/DC sometimes. So, but yeah, that's good. And then it isn't Girls.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I always put on when there's a flight of girls.
Okay. Do you have a single best powerlifting meet song that you could, or I mean, you named a bunch of classics right here, but I just wonder if there's one.
Like your all time.
Yeah.
No way. You want to know what my favorite is? There's just too many good ones out there.
Yeah.
My best is go to Spotify and look up Geno powerlifting songs.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
That's a good. I didn't know. We didn't know that's out there.
yeah,
That's good.
good
There's a lot of our
insider tip.
listeners that are going to be interested in checking that out now.
Oh, good. And so now there's two of them out there. Somebody else created one and put my name in there called This Is Geno Powerlifting. That is not the one. It's
Okay.
Geno Powerlifting songs on Spotify, and there I have 100 of my favorite songs to play for powerlifting for one reason or another. It's right to play at this particular moment, or this one's right for this situation and that situation. And so I have some favorite groups. I love Limp Bizkit and Rage Against the Machine and AC/DC and Motley Crue. But no particular one, because there are so many of them are so good then.
Perfect. Okay, this is the last one, Geno, and we always save the most important for last, so there's a lot that rides on this one.
All righty.
You might know this fella, overrated or underrated, Jonah Leo.
He is definitely overrated. My boy Jonah. Okay, what? Just because he's a multi-time world champion bench presser, and he's got a plaque hanging up on his wall from the senator of South Dakota, or one of the previous senators, not the current one, or the governor. I forget. I don't remember who it is, but some high political official. He's got the plaque congratulating him on the wall in his office when I was there with him. But yeah, Jonah's definitely overrated. He needs to mellow out a little bit. And show a little humility. No, I love him. I love Jonah. He's my pal. And I'm looking forward to getting out there on the 2nd of April for another one of his competitions. He puts on a good show. He does. You guys ought to know that. You're there often enough, right?
Absolutely. He's great at it.
Great sponsors, and great music. He's got great sound system. He's got great stage setups with the backdrops and the banners. He does a good job, Jonah. He's my pal.
The environment is all
we're looking forward to it. We're excited about it. What do you announce when Geno comes out for a bench press? What do you say?
When Jonah comes out?
When Jonah comes out, yes.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
I usually do my line. It's kind of a Bible reference, Jonah, who was swallowed by the whale.
Yep.
And he comes out, and I'd say, ladies and gentlemen, from the clutches of the largest whale in the ocean, spitting out of his mouth comes the ultimate bencher. Ladies and gentlemen, from the depths of the ocean the biggest whale of the ocean. Here comes Jonah Leo. And I just go on and on and on. And then I'll say, he's a prophet that has taken benching to the next level. Because, Jonah was supposedly a prophet, and he spent 3 days. Now let me get very scientific on you here, okay? And did you guys ever watch Ancient Aliens show on the History Channel?
I've seen
I know
I
kind of
think
know the
everyone's seen a
reference.
few,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, technically speaking, if you follow the religious aspect of it, okay, Jonah was swallowed by a whale. It says right in the Bible, and that he spent 3 days living
In
in
belly of a
the whale.
Yeah.
Until he came out, and then he became this prophet, and you shall go forth and teach thou to bench, I say, instead of to teach the religious views. But if you talk to any of the ancient alien theorists, if they take a different interpretation of that in the Bible, they have a specific description of exactly what the inside of the whale looked like, and there's like these steel beams, and basically what they're saying is that an alien ship. Well, how do you live inside a whale?
For 3 days. Yeah.
3 days. They're saying that he lived inside an ancient alien spaceship that was underwater for 3 days, and he came out enlightened because he went through this whole experience, this UFO experience.
Well,
So-
if you were to ask me which one of those stories it might be more possible, I'm
It's got to be the UFO
I
one.
could be convinced of that. Yes, there's a case for that, I believe, for sure.
I'm a big space person, and I love talking the cosmos with people as in my spare time. I consider myself an amateur individual that enjoys the whole physics and the cosmos and all that stuff. And especially lately, I don't know if you guys have seen. I know people are going to think I'm nuts, but if you've seen some of those military videos lately that have come from the military, where these fighter jet pilots are flying along, and there's something flying alongside of them, and the guy's going, look at that, what the hell is that? And the thing's rotating, and it's keeping up with them, and it's doing all kinds of things that the human body couldn't handle if they were in them, and then they say, well, no, it must just be a blip on the radar, it must be a screw up, it's just a blip on the radar, it's a misnomer, it's not real. But, then there's other people that say, there's the proof. It's right there on the radar, and our military is recognizing it now. Mm-hmm. So if I had to guess which one is more accurate, I'd say he was under there in some kind of sub UFO craft that was roaming around under the ocean for 3 days, making him crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I do think with the infinite expanse of space, it is kind of crazier to imagine that there is other life out there than it is to think that there is something else out there.
I am so happy to hear you say that, because look, there are millions of galaxies out there. Or billions of galaxies and millions of planets within each galaxy. I mean, the math, the statistics is just insane. Yeah. Just like you said, to believe that there isn't the possibility that there might be another Earth out there somewhere, what we would call in the Goldilocks zone, which is with all the stars that are out there and all the planets surrounding all of the stars, you're going to have one that is in that Goldilocks zone, which is not too close where it's too hot, and not too far away where it's just a frozen chunk of ice, but right in that Goldilocks zone where we are. And statistically speaking, say one scientist came up with a formula.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is a formula for it. Yeah, where it's okay.
Oh, yeah. You guys know. Well, I'm impressed. You know that.
If you have your billion galaxies and each one has this many planets in it, and if only, let's say, 1/1,000,000th of those have a chance of having an Earth-like planet, well, that means there's millions of Earths out there.
Right.
I am so impressed with you two. We're going to be talking wormholes and Einstein-Rosen bridge. When I see you guys at the Arnold's, you know what? In between, we might even be talking some of that while the competition is on. Here's another thing that I do. You ready? If I swear this. Now, this is a statement on society, on human nature. If I talk to somebody, if I'm screaming and yelling on the microphone and talking about the competition, I can talk to someone that I want to talk to on the microphone when they're in the other side of the room. And just by lowering my voice and speaking in little short quips, and they will answer me and come up and say, walk up and say, here's, like, for example, I'd say, here comes Michael Johnson, and the lift is good. And I'll say, Bill, what time are we going out for steak tonight?
And the rest of the people are somewhat on, like, it's
they don't hear that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. You've lowered your voice,
Yeah.
and it doesn't make any sense to them. So it, like, the brain doesn't register. Because then I'll say to the people, I'll say, did you hear when I asked that guy what time we're going out for a steak dinner on the competition? And they go, no, you never said that. And I said, because it didn't register with your brain, because it's a non sequitur. It makes no sense. And but the guy that you're saying it to, he hears it, and then he'll come up and he'll say, 6 o'clock, we're going to Morton's, meet us there. You know,
Yeah.
so so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, and she's squatting 3 times her body weight, her DOTS formula is such and such, and I'm gonna say, Tanner, what do you think of wormholes? And
Yes. Yeah, that's great.
and you'll be the only one that the two of you will be the only one that will pick up on that.
Well, really good news. You passed overrated, underrated. It's a pass fail game, and you
I
passed.
passed.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
So you've got that badge of honor. You can rub that in Jonah's face next time you see him. Then
Can't wait to tell him. Can't wait to tell him. Now, how long have you guys been going to the Arnolds?
Well, so we went just like going to interview people and run around
2015 maybe? Or?
Was that really the first time?
Well, 2019 was our first booth. The first year we had a booth was in 2019, but I think we went 3 years prior to that, right?
Was it 3 or was it 2?
No, I bet 2016 was our first year.
Probably.
Well, yeah, because you might not have had the booth, but didn't you have?
Yeah, we were doing interviews and
we were running around doing interviews.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing interviews with you even before you had the booth. And
Yep.
and didn't you have on the banners the what do they call those banners?
The backdrops or
the backdrops. You had wasn't your logo on some of them some years or no?
I don't think
I don't know that it was.
No?
We might have spray painted it there without people knowing. That's actually what we need to do. We're gonna bring a stencil and just a can of spray paint and put it on everyone.
Like, I mean, it's there.
Like, we can't get a new one. Yeah.
Yeah, you give me one of those stencils and I'll
throw one on the back of all the
there.
USAPL backdrops.
Yeah, when somebody's out there going for a world record, we'll be in the back rearranging all the advertisements for the powerlifting community. And you know, another thing that I look forward to now every year is Arnold coming over, and getting to announce him now. Now, when he comes over, like usually I would just, in the beginning, he would kind of sneak in and just sit down. But now I get some of the guys in his entourage tell me when he's coming, so I know when to expect him. And then when he comes, I just stop the competition for a couple minutes and I kind of do a little intro, ladies and gentlemen. I have some of them on tape somewhere. Here he comes, the originator, the governor, the terminator. He's back, and then he gives me the little fist pump, and then. And he grabs the microphone and he says, "You have great energy."
That's awesome.
And then he looks at the audience and he goes, "He has great energy."
It is for anyone that hasn't been to the Arnold or if you haven't been somewhere where Arnold comes through or comes to, it is a.
Well, first, you said the entourage.
That's not a joke.
He's not just there. Yeah, there is a entourage with him, but it is there's a certain presence when he's around too.
Oh God, the place just goes nuts. And
it does.
I mean, sometimes he's had what do you call it? He's had the military,
like the National Guard there or something. Yeah, right.
Right. That's the words I was looking for. Yeah, he has the National Guard escorting him around. And he's got that whole crew, and he's got a guy that literally takes is videoing every step he makes, and then another guy that's taking photographs every 10 seconds wherever the guy walks for the entire 10 hours that he's there. And he tries to get around to as many of the that's what I love about him. It doesn't matter what sport it is now. I think somebody told me they saw him. This ping pong is one of the events now at the Arnold's. You know that.
There's
that
pole dancing,
saw,
ping pong,
jump rope.
Yeah, and they saw him sleeping over in the ping pong thing once, but at least he was there. At least he was there supporting them,
Yeah.
But he got his start in powerlifting. He tells everybody that the same thing every year. He says, I got my start in powerlifting. That's why I got into bodybuilding. So I really love the powerlifters because that's how I got my start. And a lot of people don't know that he started out as a powerlifter before he got into bodybuilding. I think everybody knows it now. He's been saying it for the last 10 years.
Right. He does kind of say the same. Yeah. I mean, even, or if you go to the final bodybuilding show in the Grand Hall or whatever that is, he kind of says the same stuff every single time.
Yeah. He's definitely got it on automatic pilot.
Yeah. No, that's good. Well, we really loved having you on here, Geno, and it's been a long time overdue. So I'm glad we got to get you on here, and we're going to be seeing you a whole bunch here in the next month. So this is really cool. It's cool to catch up beforehand before we get to see you. And when you're in Sioux Falls, watch out. There'll be a few Massenomics lifters.
One of our favorites that you call out, Larry Legend. You've done some good calls for him over the years.
So be on the lookout for a Larry Legend. He'll be there, and we'll be excited to hear a few Massenomics is in the house down in Sioux Falls.
You're gonna get more than a few. Can I say thank you again? It's been an honor to be on your show. Your show's been around for a long, long time, and I'm what an honor, because I was tough to get a hold of for a while there during the whole Corona thing, and I loved you two guys, so I'm looking forward to seeing you on more than one occasion coming up in the next month or two, and I can't believe that I'm looking here at the phone now. An hour went by.
Yeah.
That went by really fast. I feel like it got on 10 minutes ago.
That is the way that's the way it always goes every week. That's the way we like it, though.
Well, that's a good thing, because I've been on some where I've been like, when is this going to
wrap this up?
Pull out the hook cane. Be like, get him out of here.
Thank you both, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Awesome. We'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot, Geno.
All right. Thanks.
Cool beans.
Those beans need no introduction.
No. That was really good.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. I didn't know he was going to be announcing.
I didn't either. That makes me. I don't think we've even talked about this on the podcast at all, but
we're planning on being there.
As of right now, the South Dakota State meet will happen on, what did he say, April 2nd? Is that what he?
Yes, that's Saturday, April 2nd.
In Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
We should have a
for
booth
those
there.
people that are geography inclined, you could say
Southeast
South Dakota.
Yeah.
And there'll be multiple Massenomics lifters there. Massenomics will also have a booth there.
Yes. Would you say it's central Southeast South Dakota?
See, I'd almost say it's Southeast South Dakota, because it is pretty damn close to Iowa and Minnesota.
But would you say like is it?
I would actually say Eastern Southeast South Dakota.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Okay. I think that's good. Yeah.
I think Eastern Southeast South Dakota.
What is like Yankton? Do you go by Yank?
Well, Yankton would be like Southeast South Dakota. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Sioux Falls is definitely Eastern Southeast South Dakota.
You could make a case for it Southeast South Dakota.
No.
Southeast South Dakota. There is a case for that.
That is getting down there, but that'd be more what's
right down in that.
What's North Sioux City? What's
Bluff,
that?
Council Bluffs.
Council Bluffs area. Yeah. They do have the market cornered on Southeast South Dakota.
I'm really glad with Geno that we got to also get into an Ancient Aliens discussion.
Yeah.
He seems well versed on a lot of different things,
Yes,
doesn't he?
Does. And you assume it's like, oh, this is just a guy that yells at things.
Yeah.
But what does he know about this stuff? You're like, oh, you had this corporate finance job. Like I would have never pegged you for that.
Did he
guy.
say he had a grad degree in finance and stuff?
Yeah,
too?
what do you say? A undergrad in economics
and a graduate degree in finance. Yeah.
I don't think they let any dummy do that.
That's true. That was a very interesting interview. I'm glad that's another, we're kind of checking all these people off that it's been years in the making of getting them on
the list for years.
This was years ago at one of, like, probably at the 2017 or 2018 powerlifting meet in Sioux Falls. I went down there. I wasn't competing. One of those years I just went down there to watch you guys. I was going to do one in person with him, and I took all the equipment, and I was actually there waiting, and it just didn't work out. Like, something came up. Him and Geno had to do something, and it didn't work out. So this one literally is like 5 years in the making.
Which now it's funny because you're like, oh, why would I bug someone with that? Like the weekend of a meet, they got so much other stuff going on.
This is so much easier, and like, I don't think anything's lost in this either.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, that was fun though.
That was cool.
I'm excited to hear him scream Larry Legend a few times. That was always.
We'll get him really going on that.
Larry Legend.
We'll get some good videos of.
If I remember right, it's more of a Larry.
Yeah.
That's certain East Coast flavor to it.
That's right.
Oh,
you know what else?
Do we even need to do that right now, or do we wait a little bit?
Do we wait, or
we have something else to talk about? Here,
okay, yeah. So do we wait on this?
Wait till the end for
okay,
that.
we'll wait for that.
We kind of switch up our ad format this week a little bit.
Yep. We'll wait for that because we each have one left here to visit on that, right?
Yep, we do.
Okay.
So there was. All right, we got to pull up the list here, Tanner.
Yeah, there's a list.
Things. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's what it is.
I know. Yep. I know what we're going. So we have a little bone to pick here. And this kind of started in you talking about it last week, and I was 100% knew what you said. And anyone
was this off the podcast?
This was off the podcast. Okay. I'm like, oh no, we got to talk about this next week because you're the first person I've ever talked to about this in person.
Yeah,
I've heard it brought up,
and you knew exactly what as soon as I said it.
Said. And every person that has an iPhone right now, Android people, I have no idea. You might be in your own world. This might not be relevant, but anyone that owns an iPhone, if you don't relate to this 100%, I'm going to really question how you use your phone.
Yeah.
So what did you say, Tan? You're like, what's the deal? You know, every time you use Safari and you start Googling something
or typing something in, why am I hitting the period so much?
I don't have spaces.
I'm always hitting the period.
It's just like, what period does period this period period mean period.
And I'm like, is it in this that I'm always hitting the stupid period?
What is going on? And for a long time, I also wondered that, and I'm just like, well, I'm a moron. I just can't type right half the time. But it's also weird that I can only not type right sometimes. And if you've never really taken the time to look, like the iPhone keyboard, when you're messaging someone, the iPhone keyboard has no period on it. You know, everyone just hits space twice, and that's how your period goes in, right? I'm assuming that's what everyone does, right?
This is where you get to hit the space bar twice.
Yes.
Unlike our previous discussions, you do get to hit the double space bar twice.
Yeah. You get to hit the space bar twice because on an iPhone you hit space bar twice. It puts a period in, a space, and it starts the next sentence. But if you're in the Safari browser in the actual address bar and you're typing, on the very edge of the space bar, instead of being a space bar, there's a period there, and you hit that damn period all the time. But it's also weird how that period is just on the very edge and you hit that. You don't hit the space bar ever. You catch that. And it's just a universal thing, I think.
Yeah.
I think everyone does it.
I mean, it is constant. Like, it's always like, it's hard to type something in there and not hit that.
But Google seems to know that, like, yep, everyone has this problem because it never really affects your searches hardly, other than the words just look stupid.
Right.
You know?
So why don't they just move that period? Even if they just put it on the other, I suppose if you're left-handed,
maybe
you wouldn't be a thing.
Would it though? I don't know.
Well, to me, I'm like, move it to the other side of the space bar.
Next to the 1, 2, 3s and all that.
Yeah. Because like you know, when you are right-handed and you're typing, like, I think you're inclined for your thumb to be on this
but also
half.
The majority of the people are right-handed, so you would think by that case it would be on the left-hand side. Yeah, it's weird though. I actually looked, is there a way to turn that period off? Because the number of times that I'm actually entering an exact web address
and need
in
to
that
use
bar
the dots,
is so rare.
No, you're just searching.
And when it is, I'll just hit
it's mostly a search engine.
Yeah, and when it is, I'll just hit the 1, 2, 3 and enter the actual period in, you know? Like, I don't need to have that there. And I looked, and from what I can tell, there is no way to actually turn that keyboard off in Safari. It looks like there might be some apps that that you can get so that it knows when you're in Safari and get rid of that keyboard and change the keyboard up. But by default in the Apple system, it doesn't look like there's any way to actually remove that period, because after we got done talking about this, I'm like, yeah, I don't need that period. I'll just remove it.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like
not
there's
that easy.
a clean way of doing it. So,
So that's our call out for someone to fix that. If you work at, does who is Safari its own company, or is
No,
that
it's
just
Apple.
it's
It's
just
Apple's
Apple?
browser,
Okay.
yeah.
Was it ever its own thing and Apple bought it, or was it always just Apple's?
As far as
browser?
I know, Safari has always, I guess maybe if you go back far enough, maybe
Yeah.
they bought a team that was making another browser. But as far as I know, Safari, as it's called, has been just the Mac browser since forever.
And is Surfing Safari, is that by the Beach Boys?
Yeah.
Every time I hear Safari, I think, hey, Surfing Safari.
Yeah,
Surfing
Are
Safari.
you a Beach Boys guy at all, Tanner?
I don't dislike the beach. I mean, there's a time and a place.
Oh, there is a
know,
time. There's
like,
definitely a time and a place.
it's actually weird, like just how little that the Beach Boys come. When I was young, like a little kid, I liked the Beach Boys.
Yeah, it was like this
Yeah,
fun kind of
it's like
you just say surf music, but it
Yeah.
was like had a definite sound to it.
but it just doesn't come up. Like I don't know.
You don't encounter the Beach Boys frequently. I know.
Well, like you encounter the other older groups. I just don't. I'm not.
Yeah,
I
like
encounter Elvis and I
Beach-
encounter
yeah,
the
they don't,
Beatles.
so they don't
and-
get played like on classic rock,
Right.
and they don't get really played. I kind of get what you're saying. a little
Yeah,
bit.
but I think the Beach Boys have a place.
I do like the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
And actually, in my younger, more party heavy days,
the bus.
my
on
friends
the Beach Boys,
also
yeah.
had my whole friend crew. We all had a very big Beach Boys thing going on once drinking was involved, and we got to the point where in Aberdeen, you could call one of the bar shuttles. One of the bars in town has a shuttle that would pick you up and take you to their bar.
Yeah.
And we were notorious for, we would
Flipping
get on
the
the
Beach
shuttle
Boys.
with like 20 people. The shuttle driver knew who we were. He would put on the Beach Boys, and we would just lose our shit and just go crazy.
Well, and if you put on Beach Boys 20 greatest hits, everyone in the bus, even you don't think you know the song.
You know those
And then
words,
all of a
like-
sudden you're like, oh yeah, like I know all of these.
Like you might say,
Yeah.
I don't know any Beach Boys songs.
And you'd be like, wait,
And
I
there's a
know
good
all of
chance
them.
You know the words to a majority of the
yeah,
hits.
yeah. So that's kind of part of it too, is just
It
like
is.
the.
You're just like, I'm singing these words. Why do I know these? Because that's how I felt for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, why do I even know these words? And you're like, no, everyone knows these words. So yeah, Beach Boys. Underrated, right?
I kind of think that they are.
I think they are a little bit.
Talking
I
about-
actually saw them live. I've seen them live twice.
Really, they
I've
had to
seen the
be
Beach Boys-
ancient.
They
They have to be extremely
I think there's
old.
only
Just
like one or two of the
original,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah. I saw
Does
them at-
do you know a name of any of the Beach Boys?
Yeah, it's Mike Love's uncle was one, or Kevin Love, the basketball player. His uncle was one of the founding members. Is it Mike Love? I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And then
Dude Love.
I actually feel really dumb for saying this, but I can't think of the main guy's name right now, and I just have
I wonder
to
if I would know it if I'm just curious what it is.
Is it
like
Brian members? Yeah, Brian Wilson. I was gonna say Brian Williams, and I'm like, that is not right.
Yeah.
Brian Wilson. He's kind of
that sounds a little familiar.
I
to
feel
me.
like he's maybe gets the. I think he kind of gets the most credit as far as the Beach
Okay.
Boys go. Or he's maybe the creative genius behind a lot of it. Mike Love is the saxophone player, Kevin Love's uncle. So
Okay. I did not
Fun-
know that.
fun fact for
Yeah,
you
that
there.
is a fun fact. On the top of music and on the topic of Motley Crue, have you seen any of this biopic, Pam and Tommy?
I have not. No, I'm not even. Have you seen it?
I have. I watched.
I was gonna say, I've seen a lot of
couple episodes.
advertisements for it.
I haven't been getting to watch. I'll start this off. I haven't been getting to watch any TV. The only two, like the other night, my wife and I said, when was the last time either of us have even had this television on? And we weren't sure.
Like, I got to make sure it still works.
The only things I've been like when I can, like on Sunday, like there's like sometimes in Sunday afternoon, I have like a little time where I can get to. I've been trying to watch the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah. You're kind of
Which I'm mostly caught up on that, and the little bit of cliff notes I'd give on that, it was like way slower than Mandalorian, not as good as Mandalorian, until more recently Boba Fett turned into Mandalorian Part 2, and then it's really good again because it's like, the Mandalorian's back, and
Okay.
and Baby Yoda's back, Grogu, and
See,
all
I
that
haven't
stuff.
seen
Yeah.
Mandalorian even.
Okay.
I'm really out of the loop on all that stuff.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I've been trying to watch, and then the one other thing that I want to watch and like have just started to is that biopic, and it's pretty interesting to me. Like, and also I'm pretty into like 1995 and stuff. So I just like the music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
funny
like
too because the world was so different then.
And what's really cool about this is like gets into like a lot of internet stuff, and it's like it's so funny watching
when
them
did
talk.
the tape come out?
Like 1994, 1995.
No, like the tape, like that's when it like went to the public was then?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I thought like for some reason in my mind that the tape didn't actually get out to the public until like 99.
No, as long as this biopic is accurate, which I don't.
No, it probably is. I don't know.
And like it's like 1990. It's 1995.
Oh, okay.
And which is funny, like the conversations in there.
I guess when I was 6 years old, I wasn't really into the Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson sex tape scene.
But to me, like, so that's I would have been 10 in 1997. And that is like prime like Pamela Anderson.
Everyone knows. You knew who she was. Then, for sure. Yeah.
But the World Wide Web talk on this show is just awesome, just hilarious. How like most of the people don't. This is 1995. I was like in upper grade school, like not far out of middle school, almost. And like most people like didn't understand what the World Wide Web was.
Yeah.
Like they'd be talking about it, explaining, and they'd be like, "What do you like?"
Yeah.
What
95
do you mean?
was still relatively early though.
And if this is accurate, like it's weird like how fast that changed though.
Mm-hmm.
How even like from like 95 to 2000.
Oh yeah.
How like like apparently Gen Pop didn't get it. They did.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like that tiny little window there where it really changed drastically.
Yeah, that would have been it.
But that's part of what was really interesting about the show to me is like just this 1995 era and everything that's going on in there, and like how it all relates back to music and pop culture and stuff like that. That's the best part of the show to me.
Yeah, I can like that would be. Yeah, that'd be fun to watch just for that part of it.
And how the actor and actress that play Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson
kind of look like him.
You watch it enough and you just like start to
think that
be
that's
like,
what
that
they
is
look
who
like?
that person is. Like that is who that is. Like,
yeah.
But the actress like that plays that, she does not look like that in like, okay. There's a lot of like
makeup and stuff.
Yeah. Way stuff going on to it. But like when you watch it enough, I start to be like that. I feel like that is them. I'm confused now. Like
I've got to get my senses
right,
calibrated.
Right. But I'm kind of enjoying that. It's also like really graphic and
not a family affair.
It is not a family show. Also, like I didn't know what my expectation of what is allowed on Hulu.
See, I
didn't think
either.
It was that.
Okay, so they're like they're going places here.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and
interesting.
So, and I wasn't aware that you could just like that was like what was on like that.
See, I never know what the rules are for that stuff. Like I don't really get. Like, where does Netflix and Hulu and HBO? I feel like people kind of know what to expect with HBO.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, where does Netflix and Hulu draw their lines?
Right.
I don't really know where that is.
Did you ever watch Barbed Wire?
I never did. I just remember being a little kid in the video store and seeing that damn cover. Seeing that cover all the time.
Yeah.
Seeing that cover and the striptease cover in the video store.
Yeah.
There's probably some.
I never saw Barbed Wire either, but like it's funny how that image perfectly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Back when barbed wire tattoos were like kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, the 90s.
Simpler times. And Seth Rogen is in the show.
Is he really? Oh yeah, isn't he one of like the guys that steals the
Yeah, and then also the dude from Parks and Rec, Ron Swanson.
Oh, is he one of the other ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like those are kind of the two main characters that aren't Pam and Tommy.
All right. I think I did catch that in a little preview.
So that's also interesting. Yeah. Like, and I didn't know anything about the show when I first clicked on it.
So I'm like, pop in there.
That's Seth Rogen. I didn't realize what it's good.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So that's enough on that.
One other thing, slightly related, but not really. I think it was on the Super Bowl. They had a commercial for an HBO show about the building of the Lakers empire.
Ooh, I did see that.
That looked pretty cool, didn't it?
Yeah, and my son loves basketball and football, and when we saw that, we were like, "Oh yes," because it's got Magic Johnson and Kareem in it. And,
that's what I thought. I thought that looked like that's got some potential.
I do want to see that.
I'm curious, like how much it gets sensationalized and how much it feels like a kind of like a documentary or not. But
I would like. I really do. What is that on?
HBO.
Okay, and that's not out yet.
I don't think it is. But Adam McKay. You know, he did Succession. And
Okay. Yep.
Also, isn't he the guy that does Step Brothers and all that stuff too?
Is it? Okay.
Isn't it?
I don't know. But I did catch that too, and I really thought that looked good.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
do you
Step
know
Brothers,
everyone-
Anchorman,
Okay.
the other guys, all those classics.
Do you know anyone that watched that Kurt Warner movie? It came
no,
out around
I hardly
Christmas
even
time?
know that
Okay.
this is a thing, other than I saw like one or two people talking about it, and I didn't even know. I saw one or two people having like posts about it, and I honestly didn't know if they were being for real or if they were making something up.
No, it's real. I kind of wanted to go to it in the
Oh.
theaters, and then someone else I talked to said, that's probably a terrible movie. And I thought about it. I'm like, it probably is a terrible movie. And so I never, I haven't seen it, but I was just curious about it. There's still a part of me that wants to see it because they're, again, catching me in like, kind of want to see like what Kurt Warner was doing in like 1998 and like what, like it could be interesting.
Yeah, the fact that it flew so under the radar makes
Yeah.
you think maybe it wasn't the best thing.
My
There's usually a reason
assumption
that
still
happens.
that it's bad.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Someone reached out and did let us know that they are from Maine and Powerlift.
Oh, okay.
One person.
Okay.
So there's one.
Yep.
I forgot. I don't have that saved quick to pull up, but
You know who you are.
yeah, you know who you're, that one person from Maine that powerlifts, and I really have been getting a lot of coming from all different ways. People that have said they have been to Red Robin. Also, Red Robin. Some people will be like, "Oh, Red Robin is awesome. The endless fries, blah blah blah." Then for every one of those, there's another person that messages and says, "Yes, it is real, and unfortunately, it is the worst,
Yep. Or
the
or
most bland
has
version
been,
of
they're
that."
way
Yeah,
past their prime.
yeah. Like for everyone that says how good it is, there's at least one more that says how bad it is.
We're practically conducting consumer research for Red Robin. They should be paying us.
Well, they should be paying us for all the people that have gone to Red Robin over like the
True.
past week here and sent it.
Oh
sent me a
man, I hope
picture
those
of it.
people were all using discount code MASS because we're going to get a pretty good referral check from them.
I am not 100% convinced still that it's real.
I still have yet to see.
I
one
think
since
on
we've
our
talked about
trip
it, so.
to Ohio, we can hopefully try to do a little
little detective
field work on that.
see what we
Yeah,
come up with. I like that.
because I'm not wholly convinced. I think some people have gone to some pretty drastic measures to get us to believe.
Until I actually see something with my own eyes, I never really believe it.
That's what I always say.
Yep, I can't take anyone's word for
Yeah.
anything.
No, I have to see it with my own eyes. You know what else I have to do? I have
What?
to tell you about the Hybrid Training and Strength Coach app. The Hybrid Strength Coach app is here, and it is stacked with the most popular hybrid training programs, coaching videos, exercise demonstrations, and instructional images to ensure your technique is on point. There's world-class training programs designed by the greatest minds in strength delivered straight to your mobile device. The Hybrid Strength app sets a new standard for the industry, providing a streamlined platform for athletes of all backgrounds and putting the power of the strongest team right in the palm of your hands. The Hybrid Strength Coach programs include access to program-specific private Discord communities. Hey, shout out Discord communities for live access to real-time feedback from the hybrid coaches. Visit them and find more information at hybridperformancemethod.com. Make sure to use our discount code. The discount code for this is MASS, believe it or not, MASS. It'll save you a massive 5% on the lifetime of you using that Strength Coach app or using any of their nutrition or training programming and coaching. 5% off, MASS.
Tanner, is this the correct version of this, or is there another one?
No, that's
is?
good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good. We've got multiples.
That's
but,
what I was.
but actually, you start reading and then I'll interrupt you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's interruption coming.
Yeah.
This episode is also brought to you by Fusion Sports Performance Supplements. Do you know what's in your supplements? If you use Fusion Sports Performance, you always will. Fusion SP prides itself on being fully transparent, never using proprietary blends, and always providing its customers with top quality products. They offer 2 pre-workout options with Super Soldier pre-workout.
Attention. This is an interruption of your ad.
What?
For a surprise sack segment.
Oh.
And what you've holding in the power of your hands right there, Tommy, is the new version 2 Super Soldier pre-workout. New packaging, new formulation, additional caffeine and other
Rainbow
ingredients.
gummy.
Yeah, what's your flavor? Rainbow
gummy.
So Tommy has the rainbow gummy. We've got another one. I left that at home. I believe it's red Starburst flavor.
Okay.
I have not tried
This
either of
actually
them
works
yet.
out really good because I didn't plan on going. I really didn't want to go to bed tonight. So I think I'm just going to take a bunch of this tonight.
Yep, that's
Really-
the secret.
Really become a super soldier myself.
I take mine right before bed every night.
That way you wake up prepared if you ever fall asleep. Never want to be caught off guard. That's the first rule.
No, so you've got this is the new version 2.0 Super Soldier formula. It is out and available for sale now.
3.2 grams beta alanine, 275 milligrams of total caffeine. There's some people that's the number they're looking for.
And Big Marat said, enjoy these new beauties. They're both a candy flavor of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Rainbow candy. That's great. That is perfect.
Yep.
Wow, Super Soldier pre-workout. It's really here. Version 2. Can you believe that?
It's real.
And it has proven ingredients at its full clinical dose to maximize performance, increase muscular endurance, improve focus, and get you that much sought after pump. Both are favorites among strength sport athletes. Healing Factor post-workout combines BCAAs with a full serving of creatine monohydrate and all that other good stuff to help you recover. Fusion's whey protein isolate not only tastes great, it also has 27 grams of protein per scoop, 0 fat, and low or no carb options depending on the flavor. Available in vanilla ice cream, chocolate fudge, chocolate of some sort, and frosted cinnamon roll flavors. Most orders are shipped within 1 business day, and every Fusion Sports Performance product comes fully backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Here's the important part, everyone. Go to fusionsp.net and use code MASS, M-A-S-S, to save a huge 20% on your order. That's a 20% savings on this Super Soldier enhanced pre-workout in the classic rainbow candy flavor. Could be yours today. fusionsp.net.
Excellent. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Yeah, thank you.
We had a banger of an episode this week. Make sure to check out the new drop items we talked about, the logo block tee, the Natural for Life tee, and, of course, the Lift Shorts 3. The most expensive lift shorts ever made.
Even more expensive. All right, is that it?
I think that's it. Make sure to become a supporting member. Leave us a 5-star review. Actually, let me read these really quick 3 reviews because I've had them saved on my phone for a while, and I want to get to the next. My dream is still to catch up with these someday. So this first one is from All Good 911. Mind-blowing, 5 stars. I have to believe this podcast is the best thing to come out of Western Northeast South Dakota. Absolutely fantastic, mind-numbing dribble for 60-plus minutes a week. An endless supply of cool beans, utter nonsense, and excellent Western Northeast South Dakota weather updates. 5 JD Powers and all the cool beans. 5 out of 5 stars. From Chet from Northeast Oklahoma. Sparkling waters. As someone who is not a fan of sparkling waters, this podcast has inspired me to broaden my horizons and try new flavors. I still don't really care for them, but I do really care for this podcast. I give the podcast 2 cool beans and all the JD Power awards. Last one is from John from KY. This is a review, 5 stars. If peeing your pants is cool, consider Massenomics Miles Davis. That's a good one. So thank you. Also, please, all of you, leave us a 5-star review. We're trekking someday to get on that road to 500. I think we're at about 418. And good news, we did surpass 200.
I was going to say, we eclipsed the 200 mark
200
on Spotify.
So give us a Spotify rating. It's real simple. Just all you got to do is click the 5 stars, and
Boom,
that's all you
you're
do there. Like us on YouTube.
You can do that. That's your payment in order to go listen to Geno's powerlifting list.
Is just go do that first.
Yeah, you want to get Geno's playlist, you first have to rank the Massenomics podcast. It's the rules.
That's right. Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.